So I'm going to give you now how you can really reprogram your body through a meditation. I'm just not here to just blah blah and give you just some theories. All theories to me are blah blah unless you have the experience and be able to relate to what I'm talking about. I want you to close your eyes. What you are seeing is the physical body. What you are identifying yourself is with the flesh and blood, the diseases in the body, how heavy you are or how thin you are. This is your identity. Now, whatever it is, just go back into your body. The body is alive. The DNAs are alive. You are the DNA. The DNA defines you. You are the miniature DNA. How many people understand? No. Only science has recently revealed that you are the DNA and the DNA is you. Just focus on the innumerable DNA all over the body, spread all over the body. Even that DNA is not living. The light body is not living life to its fullest extent. And what is light? What is life? Life is light. And what is light? Light is consciousness. Life, light, consciousness, they're all synonyms. Just focus on that from head to foot. You are filled with the DNA. And we are going to pump into the DNA a lot more life. A lot more breathing. We are going to breathe life into it. Because the life energy is the breathing energy. So collect all your life energy, the breathing energy, and just put it mentally into all the DNA inside your body. Now I'm going to give you a Siddha technique. The Siddhas say that life, light, consciousness, they are all represented by one sound, Om. And I'm going to send the sound, Om, and feel the Om being processed by the entire body. Om. 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 The dendrites in the neurons, like fingers, they are like fingers. They take it and send it to the nucleus in the cell body, and then it passes on to the axon terminals. That axon terminals, through neurotransmitters, send it further onto another neuron. So the whole body is filled with the sound Om. Om. Remember that the Om is life, light, God, consciousness. Eben Alexander of Harvard Medical School, who was on my show last time, The Midbrain Miracle, when he was going through his coma experience, he heard Om. He said, Om is God. So we are putting Om, God, light, consciousness into your body. Om. You don't have to do any other technique, just only dedicate all your lifetime into just doing this practice of putting Om into your body, into your DNA, into your neurons. Then the body will turn into light. Because Om has the power to transform your cell. The structure of the cell will get transformed. There's so many research papers now available how the sounds change the structure of the cell. And Om is the ultimate sound, because Om is God. It's also Amen in the Christian tradition. Now, you can relax. And slowly come back to yourself. Take your time. Open your eyes.
Okay, that should work. Thank you, Dr. Pillai, for that very empowering meditation and the teachings. It certainly helped me to have a better understanding of the concept of light body, how it's been used in various religions. So I would like to now ask people around the world in chat if they have questions that they would like to ask Dr. Pillai. So we'll be taking those questions from the chat board right underneath the viewing window on the page that you're looking at. So if you're on anything other than lightbodymastery.com, go there and go to the chat window and put your questions. While I'm waiting for some questions to appear, I do want to make mention that we will be announcing a new program that is being released in May, and we'll have some more information about that later. So it looks like I have some questions. From Mary Margaret, is it possible for everyone on Earth to get a light body?
You cannot talk for other people. You can only talk for yourself. There is not going to be an event where something will happen that everyone will be turned into light. I wish something like that could happen. But my understanding is that one has to work towards it. It is just like you are working towards money. You know, I have known so many billionaires personally. And I asked a billionaire in Europe one time. He was dying. He wanted to see me, so I met with him. He had pancreatic cancer and was going to die in a few days. What do you want to do now at this point? He never gave a penny towards charity or anything. And he told me that there is a deal coming up in downtown, and I wanted this building for a long time, that I want to do the deal before I die. And he's 100 focused on it. He never cared for when that he was going to die. So it is a matter of where you put your consciousness. In how hard you are, you have to make it as a priority in your life. And the billionaires that whom I know, they are constantly looking for money. The Siddhas are constantly looking for the light body. So that's the truth. The truth is, you get what you really want and strive for. You have to strive for it, and then it will happen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pillai. The next question is, Alex Word, is Om best practiced and said at any particular time of day?
I say that again,
Is the Om practice that you just gave us,
yeah.
is it better at any particular time of day?
See, what's happening is Om is there eternally vibrating everywhere. Om is behind a stone, behind an atom or a particle in our own body. Whether you consciously know or not, it's going on vibrating, because it's life, it's energy, this primordial energy. So you have to bring that into your consciousness. Is there a time? Yes. The best time is the dawn, pre-dawn time, and then the sunset time. That's the time it's most powerful. But if these are the time which are very hard to get for people who are involved in work. So you can do it anytime.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Last question for this round of questions. We will be taking more questions from the audience, so do stay tuned and continue to send in your questions. We'll gather them up. From Bundip, will obtaining a light body clear negative karma?
What about negative karma? Can you say the question again?
Will obtaining a light body clear negative karma?
Oh yeah. You will not have a light body until you have karma, until you are completely clear out the karma in your body. because the body equals karma. When you have no karma, you will have no body. If I have a body, it's because I have picked up some karma in order to manifest. And if I have no karma at all, then I won't have any body at all, because karma equals the body.
Okay.
So definitely when you get a light body, it means all your karma is finished.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Pillai, for joining us during this segment. We're now going to invite our guests on, and I believe Dr. Pillai will be taking a short break as we welcome our new guests. So we have Goldal Kaba, who just joined us here, and I believe we're waiting for Pedro Lopez to appear on the screen. Okay, great. So welcome to you both, and thank you so much for joining us. So let's start with Pedro.
Hi, how you doing? Everything's going well, it seems. Thank you so much for
good.
having me on this beautiful joining of people. Just to give you a little bit about my background, I'm currently the founder and CEO of Zen Gardens Consulting, where I've incorporated about 18 years as an attorney and spiritual teacher into the consulting services that provides people improve their present condition and also their business dealings and legal profession as well. So I've kind of incorporated both the spiritual aspects of my practice and also with the attorney and legal side of my approach as well, and to kind of a conducive approach to helping people.
Mm-hmm. And that's pretty fascinating. Thank you for being here and sharing who you are. I know you have a keen interest in the light body. So from your perspective as a spiritual teacher, an entrepreneur, an attorney, what makes the light body compelling to you?
Well, if someone told you that there was something that could improve your health, could improve your relationships, could even improve your finances, and a certain practice would be able to bring all these three different elements that we have in our material world together, wouldn't it pique your interest? And I think for myself and for many people, that was probably one of the first draws from a professional standpoint, something that would help me increase my intuition, help me kind of anticipate what my client's needs would be, help me discern when that little voice inside your head gives you a suggestion, how to expand upon that, to have more success in business, to help you in relationships, and to just maintain a healthier person. And when I started embarking on that, what I realized was that it was much more than that. That's the easy part. That comes almost along with the package of starting to practice towards the light body. What I found for myself was really self-mastery. It taught me to not be a victim to the circumstances around me. It taught me to have a self-mastery in all aspects of my life, which included expanding consciousness and everything. And I found a much more deeper, profound connection into who I am, what my kind of latent abilities are, and who I can really fully be. And that was really the impetus that kind of embarked me on a longer journey of trying to figure out the philosophies and understanding what this light body is, because in Western culture we really don't see much of that mentioned.
Right. Yeah, that's so true. Which leads me to my next question. Your interest in the light body isn't anything new. You've been pursuing this and looking for teachers and studying different practices for many years now, right?
Very true.
So, so where have you've traveled? You've looked for masters. What have you found?
Absolutely. I mean, I've traveled throughout the world, throughout Europe, South America, Thailand, India, Tibet, Nepal, China, you name it. I've probably been there one form or another. And what I found consistent through that, and this is including travels to the Himalayan mountains all the way to the Andes in Peru, was that every culture has a name for the light body. Every religious sect has an identity with the light body, and I was fascinated by that. Even Judeo-Christian call it the resurrection body. I remember being in Santiago de Compostela, Spain, and one of the ancient cathedrals where St. James is buried, and I had an audience with an elder priest there, a Catholic priest, and he was talking to me about the resurrection body. That is something real, and it is something that the church maybe does not nearly talk about it to the masses, but it's something very real. And I was intrigued by that. I found the same thing in the Buddhist circles, by the rainbow body, light body, in Taoist circles called the diamond body, in mystery schools called the solar body, all the way back to Persian times, to Egyptian times as well. They all had a name for the light body. when I looked into it further, I also realized that historically it was people with power, people that were presidents, emperors, popes, kings, pharaohs, wealthy individuals that had access to the secret knowledge. And for them, in part, I believe, from the research I've done, was to increase their power, to increase their success and longevity in life. But it was much deeper than that. The other big thing I realized was that you really had to go to these far-off places to get a deeper understanding for what the light body is. I went to Guru Rinpoche's cave in the Himalayas. It took me about a week with my wife, Catherine, traversing, not showering for a week, going to the countryside to get to this obscure cave where he reached his light body. And I meditated there, and it was a profound experience. But it dawned on me, not everybody can do this. Not everybody can go to the Himalayan mountains. Not everybody can go to these far-off places and change their life and dedicate it to that. So the part of Dr. Pillai's teaching that has most intrigued me is he takes this wealth of knowledge, this ancient knowledge, and from his perspective, from India and from other parts, and he makes it into a contemporary approach, an approach that can be distilled and can be followed and understood by Western society. And that's the part that I have found to be probably the most profound in the way he teaches and he approaches it. You don't have to go to the mountains and fast and almost starve yourself and live a solitary life for years to attain it. You can maintain your family. You can maintain the things that you enjoy doing. And all those things start to enhance in your life immediately, as well as the part of having a deeper connection with yourself. So that was the main part.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. That really encapsulates it for us, I think. And I know you and your wife are on this journey together, so you have also the partnership, and you found Dr. Pillai recently, so now you're able to not have to travel around the world unless you want to.
Well, we'll always travel, I guess, but now we can also do it in the hotel room when we travel as well, not necessarily in the cave.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Pedro, for joining us.
My pleasure.
So now we move to Dr. Gulal Kama, and you are an amazing woman. I had the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you and hear about what you are up to. You are an intuitive healer, a therapist, a spiritual teacher. Tell us a little bit about your first impressions from meeting Dr. Pillai. Well, hold on one second. It looks like you're muted. Let us fix that.
Is that better?
Yes, you're
Can you hear me? Okay, sorry about that. Thank you for the lovely introduction. It's an honor to be here. Excuse me. My first impression of Dr. Pillai is listening to Pedro speak. Similar in that it's so wonderful to have someone be able to teach so much ancient wisdom and science and bring all of that in a way that people can understand. My life journey has been to seek consciousness and soul healing, because as a child I would see things and experience things I never really understood. So it's been this journey with masters and going around the world, not in the same way that Pedro did, but in my own way, seeking what is truth. And my professional life is an emergence of that seeking. And there I am one day in the presence of Dr. Pillai. My dearest friends took me to a seminar, and I walk in, and here is this man teaching. And from my capacity to see, which I understood in that moment was very limited, so much was happening. There was healing, there was energy, there were beings, there was spirit, there was blessings, there was love, compassion, so much occurring on many levels. And I knew that this was just the beginning of so much more that could be possible. So it opened and expanded me in a great way.
And speaking of experiences,
Yes.
You had an experience in Mount Shasta.
I did. You were actually there, but you didn't know this happened until later. Dr. Pillai was giving an initiation, and when it was my turn, we were in the pyramid, it was dark, and so much, of course, that he always brings with the love and the healing that he brings to the table. When it was my turn, there was an immediate sensing in color and an emotional experience and other words that we don't have. My unfinished business, if you will, the traps, the closed doors, the hooks that kept me in the same patterns, the pain that comes with that. And simultaneously, there was this experience of joy, bliss, light, singing, dancing, colors, possibility. And there was this what was, what is, what will be, all occurring at the same time for me. And when we left the pyramid, I remember asking you how long were we in there, and you were like an hour and a half, and I would have sworn it was 5 minutes because it was so engulfing for me. So this journey has been unfolding for me since the beginning.
Yeah, and we're going to talk more about your journey. So recently you were in India.
Yes.
So what happened there, and how has that impacted you now? That was not long ago, maybe a month or two ago.
No, that's right. This is quite the journey talk today, isn't it? India was powerful. You always hear that when people go to India, they come back changed. I'm no different than that. Being an educator, a therapist, a scientist, and an intuitive healer, I bring all of who I am to my work. Well, in any healing profession, we can only see as far as we can see until we can see more. So when I came back from India, I joke that that first week I kept tripping over myself. The energy that was coming through me was so powerful, the insight so strong, and they were coming from a place they hadn't come from before. So I was literally physically losing my balance. But what happened from that is I'm clearer, I'm more focused, I'm more awake. Some of those hooks and knobs and things that I saw in Mount Shasta, they're gone. So now I have a deeper clarity. So the people that I work with, they're experiencing the light through me in a way that's palpable, like they can talk about it now, whereas before I would have to teach them and show them how to see it. Mm-hmm. They're experiencing calm, comfort, healing, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's been very powerful. Still trying to wrap my mind around it.
Yeah, thank you. And since we're talking about this is the segment on religions and how Lightbody is featured in many different areas of religious life. I know you have a connection with Mother Mary. Is that right?
I do. I've had the privilege many times to be in what's considered her last home. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing power spot. And again, when I was a young child, and feeling her presence, we have so many theoretical constructs for words like unconditional love and comfort and connection and how that can heal us immunologically. Now we have science to back it up. And Mary, she is that. There's this embodiment of love that comes from heart outside that isn't the word. It is that moment that baby touches mother's breasts, heart to heart. That bliss, that connection, it's comfort, it's peace, it's trust. She is that and can bring that to all of us. And that is like my aspiration in life, to bring that forth, to feel that every day, to bring that forth, not just talk about it, which I love to do, but also be that. But what I've discovered is that strength and courage and success comes from that place. We don't come to that place from strength and courage. Strength and courage comes from that space of love that Mary embodies, that sense of mother that lives within all of us.
And you both certainly embody that sense of love and courage and strength. I could spend all day with you. We do have to move on to our next segment, but thank you so much for being here, for sharing with us, and hopefully we'll hear more from you in future events, because we would love to continue that conversation. So,
thank you for having me.
Thank you both. So now we're going to move on to a 15-minute break. And during this time, we'll be playing some music and just taking a break for you to go move about and come right back. In the meantime, if you have questions, please send them into the chat area, and we will answer them in later segments. After the break, we will be back with Dr. Pillai and other guests. So continue to stay tuned, because we have 2 more meditations and teachings with Dr. Pillai throughout the next, the rest of the caption of the show. So, and we'll also be talking more about the Lightbody program, which will be taught personally by Dr. Pillai starting May 4th this year. It'll be a 12-month program, and it's during that time we'll be able to receive those regular initiations and teachings with Dr. Pillai throughout that 12-month period. We've gotten a taste of what it would be like today, and of course we're going to continue to discuss the different aspects of the light body, and next segment will be based on science. So we look forward to you tuning back in about 15 minutes.